everybody? Welcome to another edition of Blue Blood on the Main Line. I'm your host, Curtis Sumpter, and I'll be joined today by one of the all-time favorites, Dada. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
What's going on, man? Thankful for having me. Thanks for having me.
Oh, for sure, man. No question. Definitely wanted you to be on the show. Wanted to give our fans an opportunity to catch up on you. What's going on? Life after Villanova. So please, let everybody know what's been going on since you left the main line.
So it's funny, I'm not really gone. I'm still around. If you like still on campus, you'll probably see me more than than a little bit. I'm still in school there, so finishing up my
Okay, yep,
master's
that's right.
degree. So I'm always up there on campus. I kind of come up there a lot, see the games, catch a couple games too. Um, and Currently, right now, I'm working at a school called Crystal Ray in North Philadelphia. I'm working there as like academic support. So basically, I'm just helping the students out who need the extra support and you need like the extra push, kind of um, basically. And then I'm working and I'm coaching. So I'm coaching the varsity team. I'm an assistant coach to my head coach Kyle Sample. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just doing that and training as well. I'm also with I'm gonna throw my ad out there at Uncle Da Elite on Instagram. So I'm doing all those things and just trying to get into the coaching world.
What's up, man? Doing a lot of things. Wearing a lot of different hats. But that's what it takes, to be successful. What are you trying to get your master's in? Is that more so the administrative stuff you were just talking about?
Yeah, so sort of kind of like I'm getting two master's degrees. I'm working on one in my in education, just general education, and then I'm working on a second master's in counseling as well. So getting the master's of education and in counseling.
That's what's up, Dada. I know quickly, just tell people like what type of school is Crystal Ray? Because I know myself, I struggle with whether it's a Catholic school or private school or charter school. Like, what's the dynamics of the actual school?
Yeah, so Crystal Ray is basically is like it's a Catholic. So the way they advertise it and the way they preach, um, what the school is that it's a Catholic school for people of all faiths. So there's not really like it's not strictly Catholic. So like there's Muslim students and they welcome Muslim students and students of other different religious beliefs into the school, and they kind of it's basically run like a Catholic school, but with the point of it being that they're welcoming all students. So another thing, something that's really cool about the school itself is that it so you have to pay tuition. Like most Catholic schools, you have to pay tuition, but the school allows their students to work one day out the week with different companies throughout the Philadelphia area, the
Like a
greater
co-op,
Philadelphia
like a
area.
co-op joint, right?
Yeah, so like basically you're like if you were in college or you were working and in school, it's doing the same thing. So like you kind of like working one day out the week, and it's paying for half of your tuition. So you're not even really paying the whole thing, and then the tuition itself is adjusted as well for the students. So there's it's basically trying to grab as many kids as they can from and give them a college preparatory level education. So where they're learning, because you think about it, you got to work one day out the week, so you're really jamming in a lot of education in 4 days. So it's a really heavily educative school where like they're at a high level academically and they want the kids to be high level and getting them into colleges all around the country. And it's a really good school. And then on top of that, they're trying to improve their athletic side too. So they're trying to be a well-rounded school where they have the best students academically and athletically as well. So it's growing. They're trying to build a really nice culture here, and it actually reminds me a lot of Villanova. Just being on the campus itself, and just
Yeah.
being around this, like what their philosophy is similar, very similar to Villanova.
I know just my, short time since Kyle got the job and, myself going there and playing hoops on Sundays and just checking out the campus, I was like, wow, this is like, in the middle of North Philly. And then, him briefly telling me, what the school was doing and how you pretty much summed it all up. It makes total sense now. The atmosphere is like a nice small community college, I would say. Like, you have your turf in the background, your football field, soccer field, everything's enclosed, nice basketball facilities. Sounds like you guys get great donations from sponsors and donors throughout the city.
Yeah.
The mission statement in itself and what they're trying to do is amazing. Um, and what you're trying to do is as well, as far as helping them with the athletic program, but also helping the student athletes as far as preparing them for college, helping them be better student athletes is far than none. Like you said, it's something that you've learned from Villanova. You saw at Villanova, and you're taking there as well and helping it grow. So that's really good to see.
Yeah.
So what's going on with the team this year, man? How you guys looking? I know, did the
Uh,
season start yet for you guys or not yet?
so we didn't our first we have a scrimmage today actually. We're scrimmaging Father Judge at Judge today.
Okay.
We had really good preseason this fall. Um, and grew a lot. I think we got some really big wins. And we took some tough losses too. So it's all about building and growing and learning from those experiences. So I think our guys are learning a lot. Like we put in a lot of stuff right now, considering like we just really started
Mhm,
practicing, teaching, and instructing.
mhm,
So like we're jamming in a lot of information and trying to get them to learn a lot in a really short time. But I think they're receiving it well.
mhm.
They're growing a lot. So I'm excited to see how it turns around. Our first game is next Tuesday, so
Okay.
I'm really excited just to see where that is, and I'm just excited to get my feet wet coaching and stuff like that. So
What?
it's
So I was in your shoes, at one point, as many others were too as well. Like, what do you now? Like, do you find yourself gazing in the back of your mind and as you're coaching these young kids and trying to give them information, do you somehow think to yourself like, hey, like was I coachable, or you try to think like how you receive information, you like, because we have our moments, right, as coaches, you trying to explain, or you like, come on, I know you got this, and you try to think it did. Some kids are resistant,
yeah.
we everyone has their own timetable, when they're ready to receive information and process it. But like I said, did you find yourself asking questions like, damn, was I this difficult, or was I, receptive?
Yeah, like it's even funnier because I like work in the classroom too. So like I see how the kids are acting. I'm like, it was like, did I like what was I doing from like 15 to like 18? Like what was I doing as a kid in high school? Like really just trying to figure it out. Especially like on the basketball court too. I'm like, did I this is what Coach Wright was talking about when he's like yelling at me. Like I can see why like
Yeah.
it's so frustrating to see. So like I think it's funny, like it's a full circle moment. Like I remember I talked to Ash Howard the other day and I talked to him on the phone and I was telling him like, yo, like I remember when you were yelling at me my freshman year about not playing hard and not being ready and taking everything for granted and not being I can see myself doing the same thing with this kid and I can see me turning into you and like well it's just saying everything you said to me. So I'm like, yo, this is like crazy that how everything like comes back around. Like it's really a full circle moment. So I'm like I remember saying like, yo, if I'm a coach, I would never do this. I would never talk to and
Yeah, right.
be like this. And then little lo and behold, it's my 3 months in. I'm already being like Ash. So it's definitely it's cool though. I think it's like it's just something. It's like a different passion for it. Like I have not being
Learn
able to
how not to
play.
be a hypocrite too, a little bit. You start one thing for me, like I would, things that I would try to tell people what they shouldn't do. I try to think about like, damn, I can't be telling somebody to do this when I wasn't doing this. And I would try to, without being a hypocrite, try to enlighten them and also give them reasons why,
Yeah,
and not just this is what you should be doing and you're not doing it, but try to tell them like why and maybe some examples of some things that maybe I didn't do. But I remember Flint, I called Coach Ray. I was like, Coach, I need to ask you a question. I said, was I coachable? He was like, yeah, you were. I was like, no, no, no. I said, no. I said, don't just tell me, what I probably went on to hear. I was like, no, for real. Like, was I coachable? He was like, nah, you listened. You had your moments, but you listened for the most part. He said, from what I can remember. And I was like, okay. I said, I think I listened. I said, but I don't know because I be, talking to some of these guys and I don't think they hear me. But at the same time, the big part about coaching is you already have in your mind what it is, and you're trying to relay that message to someone. You're trying to paint this perfect picture for someone, and they have no idea what it is you see. And the ones who can paint the best picture are the ones who do really, really well because you get people to really understand. So just, don't worry about it. In the beginning, it's going to be tough. Patience, what I found for me was the key. Like I didn't have I thought I had patience, but I guess my patience wasn't as good as I thought it was. Um, but at the end all be all, I just enjoyed giving people information that I felt that I was, blessed with the opportunity of receiving, and I just wanted to pass it along. Whether it was 100% right or beneficial, I felt it was right. It helped me out. So if it helped me out, maybe it can help you out in a sense. So that's the kind of approach I took with it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm doing as well. Like just being and playing college basketball for so long, kind of like know what college coaches are looking for, and you kind of
Mhm.
know and you know what they're looking for, you know what they're asking of you. And me being the type of person and the type of leader I was, I kind of know, and playing on the teams that I played on, we know what we're looking for. We know what makes good teams, what makes bad teams, what makes good players, and what makes just regular guys. So that's kind of like where a lot of my coaching comes from, is I'm trying to push these guys to be not just good high school basketball players, but they try to be ready and prepare for when they go to that next level, whatever it is, just to help prepare them the best way I can.
You were at Villanova through some really good years. I mean, I can say do some good do some of the best years,
Yeah.
two national championships. I mean, two what Final Fours, what how many biggest championships do you have? Like how many pieces of jewelry do you have, first
Uh,
of all?
that's a good question. I haven't even counted. That's a great question.
That's crazy. You don't even know. I mean, I gotta count. Like that's what I'm talking about. You were there which brings to my point, you were there doing some of the best years. And granted, you didn't have the type of career that we all wanted you to have, nor did you want to have due to injury. We all find ourselves sometimes, getting that injury bug. But you were still an integral part of the team, leader, captain, and like you said, you helped the guys prepare day in and day out for success. Um, I play against you every Sunday now. You kick my ass. You kick everybody's ass every day. This is the best I've seen you look in years. You feeling good. Um, we all know you had some opportunity once Villanova was done. Why did you choose not to follow, and continue to play and can follow your dream now, what you're doing now, coaching and working at Crystal Red?
um, to kind of like explain it simply, it just felt right. Like I
Mhm.
think like right after school, I kind of right after the Final Four, after we had lost to Kansas, Kyle reached out to me, not like the day of, a couple of days afterwards. He reached out to me and was like, "Hey, like, um, I have an opportunity for you if you want to take it." And I kind of like, I'm like, okay, like I'll listen to him, hear him out. And at the time in my
This
head,
is
I just
Cal Sample, right? This is
yeah,
Cal Sample, right?
it's Kyle
Cool,
Sample.
yeah, because I don't want people to get confused with Kyle
Yeah,
Neptune.
nah, it's Kyle Sample.
Yeah.
So he told me, he reached out to me, and he said that I have this opportunity for you at Crystal Ray if you want to do it, you want to come on and coach, and and I know you're still finishing your master's degree, so this could be a way that you can work and get your master's at the same time while uh, starting your coaching career, which I think um, is something that you wanted to do, right? Like just questioning and had me thinking about it. Um, And when he said it to me, I was like, well, I'm going to be finishing my master's. It'll work out that I don't have to work. I can work, coach, and like finish my master's all in one shot. So I'm doing multiple things, furthering my finishing my educational career, doing all the things I need to do at the same time as starting something new that I enjoyed doing. I wanted to get started. So it worked out well. But I think in terms of like the playing aspect, like I think it's been real weird. Like my career was really weird. I went through a point where like I retired and I'm retired. Then
Same,
yeah,
same. I think I did it twice,
like
maybe.
it was like really strange. And not that like and again like I play with you and like we battle, um, and I feel good. Like, but I don't think um is where like
Is
I
it? Is
feel
it? Is it?
confident in myself. Like I went to tryouts, like I worked out, and I felt confident in myself, and I feel like that I could have like attempted and made that push and really tried and committed myself to it. And I feel confident that if I did that, mentally I know that I was capable of doing it. Like I don't think like I found peace in that, and I think that for me personally, like it just felt like it was time to just let it go. Um, and I had a really tough time with trying to let it go. Like I've been and I actually talked to Coach Wright about it, and I talked to a couple people about it about making a decision on whether or not if I was going to stay at Crystal Ray or not. Um, and it just found that for me personally, for the betterment of myself and my future, that I just look ahead, and try to think long term versus what I'm just like I've been craving for the past however long 3 years that I've been like really wanting to just fight and push through with my own body. So
That makes
yeah,
that makes total sense. Dada. Everything you just said is where I, got to at a point in my career. After two ACLs at Villanova, back to back, same knee, having to come back a fifth year playing, but my body never was right. Like everything hurt but my knee. Like
yeah,
I would hurt an ankle, a calf, like everything that I was was tearing me up. Couldn't get ahead. Go play overseas. Get into a situation where my body just isn't right. For a couple of years, my body could not get right. Then go play in the D League. Body start feeling good, really good playing with as well as I've been playing in probably like 5 years, right? Get an opportunity playing the Pan American Games with the USA team when the NBA was going into a lockout. Did that. Scouts were like, "Wow, we haven't seen you in years. Your body looked good." All this. Get a call up from my future boss, Jerry Colangelo, with the Toronto Raptors. Get there and they do a physical and they're just like, your knee is just, it's a lot of, damage that was done to it, arthritis, things of that nature. And it was maybe like the third time I heard you can't make this team. But
yeah,
it was after I done like beat everybody out in a training camp. Now it's time to take the next steps on as far as like getting a place or signing a contract. It was always the physical part, the physical part. And I had a decision to make. I was like, do I just keep putting myself through this? This is almost like the love of the game. Like I was almost at peace. It was like, you know what? Like, what more do I have to prove to myself? Because I felt like I was trying to prove something to myself.
yeah,
And I did it. I got to a Pan Am American game. I got invited to two NBA training camps, basically beat all the guys out, but didn't pass through the physical. I was at peace.
yeah,
And I retired early. I was at maybe 28, 29. And I was like, I still had two contracts overseas. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. And I called Coach Wright and I told him, I was like, listen, Coach, I'm about to be done this season. I think I'm done basketball. He was like, "What? You still got some more time?" I said, "I'm just at peace now." A lot of people couldn't understand it. And it was a tough pill to swallow to be finally done when you can still
Yeah.
play. But it was more so told myself, I said, I don't want to be, I was 28, right? And I said, I don't want to be 35, 36, 37, you know, coming home from a playing career where it didn't go the way I wanted to be. I was always chasing something, and then I'm trying to start life as a 37, 38-year-old man,
Yeah.
like way behind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I chose to go into the coaching world, the working world, and kind of figured that we're thinking long term, even though I knew I still had a couple years, left to play. So I totally understand where your mindset is. And I know including people like myself said, hey man, go try it for a year because that's the same thing I was faced with when I first got out of Villanova. I quit. Like my body was so shot that I quit. And people were like, yo, you gotta give it a year. I went on interviews and people told me, like, listen, I'm not hiring you, not because I don't want you, because I know you got a bug and you gonna leave here and go play. And I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. But I eventually did it. But I'm glad. But I didn't have, a situation like you did. If they'd have probably gave me the opportunities I was searching for back then, I'm sure I went and go play.
Yeah.
But they didn't give me the opportunities because they felt that I would. So because you have this opportunity, this is really, really good. And I'm glad, you're thinking long term. This is a really good business move, for yourself, for your family. How old are you right now?
24.
Yeah, man. You still a kid. You got, ton of opportunity. And you got people in your corner, man. I want to see you, have success, man. So I think you made the right decision. Um, so for now, I guess I'll just continue to be dominated by you for the next, it's I'll take that, but it's all right. You made the runs better. You made the runs better.
Yeah.
So it's all good. We love it. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy that you're doing your thing. You happy now. Things is all working out, man.
Yeah, no,
Really appreciate
it's I think a lot to to Coach Wright and to Kyle Sample actually. Because he helped me a lot with both of them did. Just talking to him, picking their brain about it and just really hearing them out when I had to make the decision. Because again, I was close. I was really close to just leaving and trying to make something happen. And it was really it was a really tough decision. Like it took me a long time to really come to peace with it this year. So like
hmm
I mean, I remember talking to you about it. Me trying out with the Sixers, the Blue Coats, and and getting a call back and them asking me to come to the next tryout and stuff like that. So like I had the opportunity, so it wasn't like for me, it wasn't like
it's hard saying no. I was still getting calls too, like
yeah,
pay me after contract. And I'm like, said I was done, and I done made these commitments, and
yeah,
then now people are like, basically saying, I know you made a commitment, but here's some money. Like, and I'm like, I done told everybody I'm doing this. She got my mind right. And then basketball seems to not, want to go away. But like you say, you just got to put your feet down in the ground, put your boots down and make that decision and stand by it. And it's gonna work out, man. It's definitely gonna work out. I know it will. For
yeah.
sure.
I'm praying on it. That's all I can do.
It will. So what's going on, man? I know you've been following the games like me.
Yeah,
What's your thoughts? What are your thoughts, man? I seen a couple of your tweets, a couple
yeah.
of your stuff. So what are your thoughts?
Uh, just in terms, it's early, so I know everybody's kind of the roof is on fire. Everybody's panicking right now. And my eyebrow raised a couple of times too, watching some of these games. But I think they'll get it together. It's early. Like again, it's early. It's a young team. They have, Nep. He's a new coach. So it's a different dynamic. They're just it's a lot going on. It's Villanova basketball culture. They're trying to reinstill it, and they're playing, you know, a lot of guys that haven't been counted on in the same sense, the way that like Colin and Jermaine were being counted on. So it's like it's different roles for everybody. And they're missing, Justin, who was, who's hurt, but like it was a really really, really good player. And he's been in that role for a long time. And they're throwing guys in different roles, and it's difficult, especially when guys are hurt. It's hard to just bounce back when you're like, and the young guy Cam, and to say they're relying on Cam, knowing Villanova, like relying on a freshman coming back is just a scary thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like it's not so much as the world is ending again. Like they lost some games that they could have won, but they're playing hard still. They're coming out, they're battling. They're not just letting teams just steamroll them. So like there's hope. I can see, and they're all committed to it. Like I still talk to all those guys. I still come up to the practices, and every once in a while when I can, I still see them. So I know for a fact they're committed to what's going on, to Villanova basketball, and to being a great team by the end. But it's going to take some time. Like not every um like it takes some time to be a great team. And I think Kyle Neptune is doing a good job, and all those guys at the coaching staff at Villanova are doing a great job at getting them ready and preparing them and getting them better. It's going to take some time to show. So
I agree totally. Like you said, guys are asked to do more than they've ever had to do before.
yeah,
And, when you actually do that for the first time, you're not going to always look good doing it.
yeah,
You got to, get more reps at it. But you made a good point. Guys aren't getting steamrolled. They're still playing hard. The foundation is still there. The commitment is still there. Just shots aren't falling.
yeah,
Like that's just really it. Shots are not falling. The team is playing the same way. You don't see anything different other than the array of threes
yeah,
that we would just knock down in the back. Like that's just it. Guys are taking charges, diving on the floor, helping the next man, um, making the extra pass, diving from behind, like all those things. Like you said, there's maybe as far as Villanova basketball, there might be some wrinkles in the style again, according to what we have, who we have. So trying to make adjustments within how we play due to injury. I think we're going to be fine. I think we're going to be fine. I think when Justin gets back, I think when Cam gets back, and guys can kind of get back to their normal roles, you'll see the team play better. And again, when shots are falling, that's when there was confidence.
yeah,
And I think guys right now not seeing the ball go in is probably making them second guess certain things. But we all know his attitude next play. As long as we get it on defense, things will be fine. Like and we can't rely, on a freshman, no matter how good they are. It just goes against the program, and not it's not that you just don't want a freshman to have success or anything like that. There's just things that freshmen just don't know.
yeah,
And that's just simple as that. And um and you can hide certain like if Cam seems to be a great offensive talent,
yeah,
so we can use that obviously.
yeah,
We need that obviously, but there's things on the defensive end that he just might not be up to speed with due to lack of reps, whereas a Villanova unit culture we understand, and then another guy might be better at that and can kind of help hide him and fill that void. So once we get all our pieces, I think we'll be totally, totally fine. I do like the fact, even though it's not translating to wins, I do like the fact that guys are getting opportunities,
yeah,
are being put in some of those opportunities, just so that later on in the season, if something does happen, it isn't the first time when it's at the end of the season where they've had opportunities early on and understand what it is they got to do and learn from mistakes made early in the season.
yeah. I definitely think that that's what I'm saying. I think Kyle's doing a great job at like getting Brendan, Mark, even Trey, Nana a little bit, like some experience, like trying to get them the opportunities to where they're coming in, they can make plays. Um, and even in like these close games, like I remember when I was a freshman, like I got thrown in a couple of these games, like we were playing, and granted we won a national championship, but and I was playing with some really great dude. I had a really great team my freshman year, but like
Your
they
freshman
threw
year
me
was championship year.
2018, yeah, with Mikhail. So like they throwing me in there with against like a Gonzaga team that's like number 2, 3 in the country. Like it's like, oh, all right, you gotta be ready to go. Like, and you learn from it. So I kind of see what Nep is doing, and I think he's doing a good job at it. And I think once those guys, even when Cam comes back, they get more locked in on the defensive end. I think right now a lot of our offense is dictated, or a lot of our defense is dictated by how our offense is going. And once we're not really scoring, like we won't score, we'll get a stop. We won't score, we'll get a stop. We won't score, then they'll score. And then it starts to, it's like, all right, like now they're going on a run, but it's really just we can't score. We're playing like solid defense, but it's like eventually the name of the game, you got the ball in the hole at some point.
Well, no, right.
Yeah, so and it's a little difficult for them right now, but I think, once they get everybody back and they get that opportunity, like they'll grow. They're growing as a team. Like you can tell, they're getting better, and I'm excited for them to play this game on Saturday and try to like everybody kind of counting them out at this point. And I think like that's like the best time is when everyone thinks that you're bad. Like Coach I used to say all the time, like that's the time where we're like excited. Like this is what we want. We want everybody to count us out so that when we come in and do what we do, we can just move on. Like, okay, next game. So I'm excited for them, and I'm excited for them to turn it around. Like, I believe in them. So I think that all those guys are it's it's the journey of a season. They lost a lot of guys, and it's time to they'll bounce back eventually.
Well, two quick things before I let you get out of there. Who, if you had to predict a breakout player for this weekend, who would you uh predict, or who would you want to see um have a breakout game this weekend?
Um,
Cam might be back. That's the word on the street. I don't know
I,
how true that is.
I think Cam, if he comes back, he'll have a really. I think he'll have a big game. Is his first. I think I'm hoping he'll have a big game as his first game. But I can see Eric has been playing like really well. Caleb as well. I think Slate will step it up this game against Oklahoma. I think he'll play really well just because they won't be expecting him. They won't see him coming. I think he'll do a lot more defensively and just attacking the glass and getting to the rim. I think he'll do it.
To the rim.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think everybody sleeps on Angelo Brizzi. I think he'll come in and he'll make some things.
So that's who I definitely think is asleep, and that's what I was going to pick as far as who I think should have a breakout game or might have a breakout game is Brizzy. I like I see him just slowly, day by day, game by game, getting a little bit more confident.
Yeah.
Um, like and his ability, that terminology, shoot him up, sleep in the streets. He's starting to, I guess, understand it. Like, all right, get you a freshman, but you can shoot me. You get in there. We need that ball to go in the hole. Like we need that confidence, that you're not questioning it when that ball gets swung to you, because he makes some tough shots,
Yeah.
and quick catch and shoot guy, got a great ball fake, can, get guys. I would like to see him use that ball fake and not let guys off the hook when you get them in the air and just get that contact and go to the line.
Yeah.
That's one thing I think he can he can excel at very, very well and get easy baskets, stop the bleeding for us, because that's part of being a good shoot. I mean, being a good shooter, good players having a good ball fake. Like
Yeah.
there's players who can't shoot at all, but their ball fake is so believable.
Yeah.
You go for it, and then that makes him a good offensive player. Now he can actually make shots, and with that nice ball fake, I mean he gets that in his repertoire. He'll be made. He'll go to the line. He's even taking 6 free throws a game just off of those.
Yeah,
easy, right?
he just
Like
got
easy.
he's shooting it. He's not shooting it as well right now from the field from three. I think it's like shoot like 12 right now from the three. He's missing a lot, but that's like the shoot. That's shoot it up, sleeping in the streets. Like it's early.
Yeah, that's freshman. That's getting your feet wet, the speed of the game. Think about it. You're a freshman. You gotta remember to play hard. You gotta remember to catch the
Yeah,
shoot. You gotta remember like there's like a 10 different things you gotta do all at once.
yeah,
And you remember, like, I gotta be doing it hard and 150 miles an hour. You know what I mean? So by the time he catch the ball, he's probably tired. Can't even
yeah,
make a shot. I don't think I made a shot till midway through my freshman year. I had no legs
yeah,
like the whole freshman year, like crazy. But once he get it, he'll get it because I seen him play. You just know it when someone has it, and I definitely think he's a good complimentary guy. And when he get it going, he could be a guy we can rely on to make some key shots in the clutch, man.
yeah. I
That's,
definitely. Um, I think he'll pan out well. And I know the kid. I know him personally, so I can tell how driven and how hard he works. So I know he's going to because he wants to. He wants it. Um,
that's good.
I'm excited for him.
That's what's up, man. Well, I won't hold you too much longer. What time is the scrimmage today? Because I'm actually up the street from Judge, man. If it's not closed, I might pop up and check you guys out.
It's supposed to start at 5. I'm not sure if it's open. I can text you. I'll let you know. But it starts at 5 though.
2005. Cool. Yeah, I'm just right up the street. So just let me know. I
Yep.
appreciate you, Dada, man. Can't tell you how much. I'm gonna see you on Saturday. You're gonna be at the Nova game for sure, right? Alumni game.
Uh, yeah, I think I'll be there. Because we don't
You'll
got
be
to get.
there. That's cool, man. It'll be good to catch up with you then, and then catch up with the other guys as well.
Yep.
So for everybody, that's a wrap. That's our show. Here with one of our favorites, Dada. Appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for having me.
No doubt, man.